What are some other factors that feed those models ultimately? What are things that are influencing the data that's coming out of that?
We can influence the data from the data set we provide. And then we do our best to get there, and that's that AAL conversation with the carrier. Why are we off? Do we have different data going in? And then the PhDs and the likes will feed in data that they get, whether it's an engineer that just came back from Japan earthquake and says, the steel frame didn't do what we thought it was going to do. The meteorologists that say, no, El Nino is going to be hot this year. Let's historical model. Let's look out and say this is what we're going to change it to. USGS comes out with new soil maps, and as soon as those get fed in the model, you're on bedrock, and all of a sudden you're on landfill. That's going to dramatically affect your loss potential. So those are the things that we can't control. They're in the model, but we're relying on those experts to correctly feed the models and help us understand the risk and price accordingly.
What about wildfire? There's much less historical data of that trend than what's happening today. So where does that fit into the equation?
Again, a big part of the weather change we're seeing. I mean, look, California is underwater right now. A couple of years ago, they didn't have water. But then a couple of years ago, they had nothing but wildfires. And we have a model for it now. It's out. It's available. It's pretty green still because we haven't gotten to test it a lot. And it hasn't been embraced and
it's a double-edged sword. You don't really want to test it because that means
that means you had more losses. Yeah.
But
and then the carriers need to adopt it at some point. So it's unlike the earthquake, hurricane models, which have a great historical track record now, right or wrong. We've learned a lot from that. Wildfire is still pretty new, developing.
That just, I guess, is one of the uncontrollables. Yeah. There are controllables that influence the model, and then there are uncontrollables.
Yeah, and there's so many data points to a wildfire exposure, the actual hardening of the facility, and that data's not been captured yet. It's not within the industry. We know how many stories a building is. We know what it's made of, the year it was built. We don't know, do they have grates on the vents? Have they removed any wood from 5 feet from the building? We don't have that data underneath it yet to feed the model appropriately.